students, today I am telling you about the reflection. It is the first chapter of coordinate geometry. So from this diagram you can understand, we know that the horizontal and vertical lines represent the x-axis and y-axis respectively, and the point of intersection is known as the origin. So in this chapter we have to learn that reflection under x-axis or reflection in x-axis, reflection in x-axis. Second one, reflection in y-axis. Third, reflection in the origin, and one more thing later on I will discuss. So first, reflection in x-axis. Suppose you are having a point with the coordinates 3, 4. So this is the position of that point. Let it be P. P having the coordinates 3, 4. And question is, what will be its image when it gets reflected in x-axis? So the concept which you have to use, look at this point is 4 units above the x-axis. Its image will be 4 units below the x-axis, and let the image is P dash. So the coordinates of P dash, x is equal to 3, y is equal to -4, 3, -4. So it tells you the rule number 1. If any point is reflected in the origin, y coordinate changes its sign. You can learn it. जब भी किसी पॉइंट का एक्स एक्सिस में रिफ्लेक्शन होगा, वाई कोऑर्डिनेट अपना साइन चेंज कर लेगा, राइट? देन if the question is what will be its image when it gets reflected in y axis, then this line will be the mirror line. In first case, x axis was the mirror line, and here it is the mirror line. So the image of P when the mirror line is this means point is reflected in y-axis. The concept we will use will be the same one. It is 3 units to the right of it. Its image will be 3 units. Left of it, the coordinates of its image, let that is the point P double dash, are -3, 4. So what you can see, whenever a point gets reflected in y-axis, x coordinate is changing its sign, and whenever a point gets reflected in x-axis, y coordinate is changing its sign. So these are the 2 rules which you can remember. Third one, reflection in the origin. So whenever a point gets reflected in origin, both x and y changes their sign. So the coordinates of the image of P when it gets reflected in origin will be -3, -4, and let it will be P triple dash, -3, -4. So this is the rule number 3rd. Number 1, if any point gets reflected in x-axis, y coordinate will change its sign and you will get its image. Whenever the reflection is taking place under y-axis, x coordinate is changing its sign, you are getting its image. Similarly, whenever a point is reflected in origin, both x and y are changing their sign, so it will be the image of 3, 4 when it gets reflected in the origin. One more thing, suppose you have a point 3, 0. 3, 0 lies on x-axis, clearly because its ordinate is 0. Ordinate means the second coordinate. So whenever 3, 0 is reflected in x-axis, as it lies on x-axis, so it cannot move up and down. That's why its image will be same as it is. So the coordinate of its image, if gets reflected in x-axis, will be 3, 0, and such a point is known as invariant point under reflection in x-axis. Similarly, suppose the point is 0, 4. 0, 4. This is the actual position of that point. And the question is asked that what will be its image if it gets reflected in y-axis. As it lies in y-axis, so it cannot move here and there, so its image will be just as it is 0, 4. This point will be known as the invariant point under reflection in y-axis. तो जब भी कोई पॉइंट एक्स एक्सिस में लाई करेगा, its image will be just as it is, and similarly this rule will be followed for the y-axis, right? And the last thing, that is the very important, where you have to draw a diagram to understand that here without the diagram, just knowing the rules, you can find out the image of a point. But for the fourth point, it is better to draw a diagram. That is reflection in a line parallel to x or y axis. Suppose the subject is this, right? So look at it. Suppose we have a point 1, 2. Suppose this is the point 1, 2. Suppose this is the point 1, 2. And question is asked that what will be its image when it gets reflected in a line parallel to y-axis. This is, and the equation of that line is x is equal to 3. This is the line parallel to y-axis, 1, 2, 3. So this is the line. Now the mirror line is neither the x-axis nor the y-axis. It's a line parallel to y-axis, and you are asked to find out the coordinates of the point 1, 2. The same concept will be there, right? What? Look at the position of this point from this line, which is the mirror line. जहाँ से reflection हो रहा है, तो it is 2 unit. This point is 2 unit. Towards the left of it, its image will be 2 unit right of it, and the points are measured from the origin, so image will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 2. So its image will be 5, 2. When 1, 2 gets reflected under a line parallel to y-axis and at a distance 3 unit towards the x-axis. Clear? So to understand this concept, you have to draw a diagram. Similarly, if the same point 1, 2 gets reflected in a line parallel to x-axis and 1 unit below it, means its equation will be y is equal to -1. Clear? Suppose the same point 1, 2 gets reflected in a line parallel to x-axis and 1 unit below the x-axis, definitely its equation will be y is equal to -1. So what are the coordinates of that point? Now the mirror line is this line. This is the mirror line. The same concept will be followed. First we will check the position of this point from this mirror line. It is 1, 2, 3. 3 unit above it. So its image will be 3 unit below it. 1, 2, 3. So it will be the position of the image of 1, 2 under reflection in a line y is equal to -1. So the coordinates of this point are 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, -4. You will measure coordinates of a point always from the origin. 1, then from here 1, 2, 3, 4. So the image of that point 1, 2, when it gets reflected in line y is equal to -1, will be 1, -4. So to understand this concept, means the fourth one, there is direct formula also, but better to use this procedure so that you can understand it well. Thank you very much.